Welcome to Watchmojouk UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the children's shows that sparked major controversy.
She's gone to bed.
Do you know, sometimes I think I'm too clever for my own good.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 20. Tweenies. Here's why you should never air a rerun without checking if it still holds up to modern standards. Incredibly, CBeebies didn't think to do this when they ran an episode that was originally made in 2001. Said episode included a parody of Jimmy Saville.
Hello all you teddy guys and girls out there. Welcome to the Tweenie Chart Countdown. Today you're going to hear all the Tweenies' favourite songs. And first on stage is young Milo.
As we all know, after Saville's death, investigations were made that led to the public learning of the depraved acts he would get up to behind the scenes.
Fantastic, thank you Milo. Now, coming in at number 3 in the Tweenies Countdown is Starlight, sung by Fizz. Fizz chose this song as her favourite because she just loves the starlight.
To many, he's considered British television's most disgusting mistake, so, unsurprisingly, some 216 complaints were made to Ofcom for CBeebies' profoundly stupid decision to rerun this episode.
Thank you. Teddy guys and girls, things are hotting up now. We're about to find out the top favourite song in the Tweenies Chart Countdown.
Number 19, Horrid Henry.
Mum said Henry couldn't go out, but I'm not Henry anymore. I am the Dark Avenger!
Alright, more of a tame one, but Horrid Henry, a beloved classic TV and book series, has surprisingly earned the ire of parents over the years. Apparently, Henry's crude behaviour caused panic amongst some, with them fearing that their children might replicate his naughtiness.
Silence, worm!
Many parents have outright banned their children from watching it, most notably television presenter and actor Adam Thomas, who aired his distaste for the show on Twitter. Number 18, Holly and Stephen's Saturday Showdown.
Holly, you'll like this, okay? A little bit of a massage for you. Here you go. Ooh!
That feels like you're a bit lower.
This show, also known as Ministry of Mayhem, was where Holly Willoughby and Stephen Mullen got their starts. Though it was pretty popular during its run, it also managed to raise some concerns from the parents of the children who were watching. Notably, people spoke out about how sexual it seemed to be.
Captain Scarlet.
You're barking up the wrong tree, love. Try Captain Black.
Okay.
Holly Willoughby was often wearing revealing outfits, and there were a few moments that certainly raised eyebrows. Some stories even indicate that Holly was told not to wear a bra when appearing on the show, and also that the presenters would turn up to the set plastered.
Okay.
And I'll do it right now.
Number 17, ChuckleVision.
You know something, Paul?
What?
I think we ordered too many papers.
ChuckleVision, an undeniable classic. Even looking back on the clips today, you'll find something that'll give you a, well, chuckle. That's because they actually slipped into the occasional adult joke. Take, for example, when the duo take in an astronomer to their B&B, who is hilariously looking for the 7th planet in the solar system.
I'm an astronomer, you see. I'm hoping to sneak a look at Uranus later.
Really?
Or the one where Barry can see a leprechaun that Paul can't, and the latter attempts to scratch him on the chin.
There's a good little himself.
What are you doing?
Tickling him under the chin.
Well, actually, is this tall?
Ugh.
However, some parents weren't too happy with these cheeky innuendos, believing them to be inappropriate for children.
Now, that's not very nice.
Number 16, Crush. Talk about inappropriate. In this game show, children would reveal to their class their crush and then compete in challenges to attain their dream date with said crush. Very creepy stuff, right? Well, the viewing public thought so too.
Should we put Barney behind the cherub?
Hindsight is 2020, and so the BBC, fearing more backlash, made the right decision and scrubbed this show's existence from the internet. Number 15, Boohbah. While the show was eventually embraced by the viewing public, its initial release was faced with nothing but negativity. For starters, there were those claiming it was a massive rip-off of Teletubbies because of its bright, colourful, alien-looking characters and unintelligible manner of speaking, but most of the pushback from the audience came from the fact that it was just plain disturbing. To the uninitiated, their creepy designs and the show's almost hypnotic atmosphere came across more as some sort of piece of surrealist cinema and less like an innocent children's show. We can kind of see where they were coming from. Number 14, The Sooty Show.
Sweeps to victory.
Here's a bizarre one. This time, we're looking at a show that caused backlash not from the viewing public, but actually from the company behind it. Creator Harry Corbett was pushing for the idea of introducing a new character, Sooty's girlfriend, Sue.
Matthew, it says here under this plate, fine bone china.
Yeah.
Why do they call it bone china, do you know?
This caused an absolute meltdown behind the scenes, with the BBC higher-ups panicking that it would, quote, sex up the show. Remember everyone, these are cute little puppets we're talking about here. Eventually, they conceded, but there had to be some boundaries set in place. They even went as far as to implement a new no-touch rule to the show's creators.
What? You don't think so?
Number 13, The Slammer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to HM Slammer, where you decide which prisoner is to be released.
The Slammer was a rather bizarre show with a premise that didn't exactly make sense. Basically, contestants were brought in under the pretense that they had been arrested for showbiz crimes and would have to perform their skills to an audience who would then decide whether or not they walked free. Yeah. Anyway, one act got them in trouble with Ofcom. A contestant dressed as a mime performed a stunt in which they would place a plastic glove over their head and inflate it. Viewers were outraged, believing that children at home might attempt it and suffocate in the process. Number 12, Postman Pat.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat.
Other than being sacked by the Royal Mail, yes, that's true, you can look it up, Postman Pat has been relatively smooth sailing in terms of public outcry. That is until the release of the film Postman Pat the Movie in 2014.
Such a lovely morning.
What was the big issue surrounding it, you ask? It was shite. The film garnered mostly negative reviews from both the general public and critics alike. Come on, Pat.
Postman Pat, the movie.
Number 11, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Once, an engine attached to a train was afraid of a few drops of rain.
If there's one episode that still haunts viewers to this day, it's the sad story of Henry. In this story, a green engine refuses to come out of a tunnel due to the rain. After many attempts to pull or persuade Henry to desert the tunnel, the conductor and crew decide to just leave him there. Not only that, but they take away his rails and construct a brick wall to seal him in.
We shall take away your rails, he said, and leave you here for always and always and always.
Viewers found this episode so disturbing that there was an outcry, so much so that in the US series, they went as far as to change the narration so that the Fat Controller came across as less sadistic.
He wondered if he would ever be allowed to pull trains again. But I think he deserved his punishment. Don't you?
Number 10, Noddy's Toyland Adventures.
Good morning, car.
Yes, even the little man in the red and yellow car has faced backlash, but not for the reasons you'd expect. As you may know, Noddy's Toyland Adventures, the stop-motion series, did not follow the source material one-to-one. So, years later, many adults had their childhood ruined when discussions about the original stories by Enid Blyton flooded the internet. People realized the depictions of the gollywog characters who in one story stripped Noddy and stole his car were quite undeniably racist. In reprinted versions of the books, these characters would be replaced with teddy bears instead.
Oh, thank you, Big Ears.
Number 9, Discover and Do, and the Bedtime Hour.
I've got lots of colourful leaves because it's autumn.
Sometimes viewer complaints really make you lose faith in humanity. Kerry Burnell was a CBeebies presenter who would appear on these two in-between segments on the channel around 2009.
Kerry has lovely shiny hair. Not first thing in the morning when she wakes up.
She was born with only one full-length arm, which, for some reason, led to many parents calling in to complain about her appearing on the show, saying that she was scaring the children watching at home. This is obviously a ludicrous claim, and if anything, it was a great way to teach children about conditions people might have, ultimately making them more accepting of those with visible disabilities. Number 8, Peppa Pig.
No, Mummy, we are good at skating.
This show has become massively popular, and not just in the UK. Alas, with that fame also comes some controversies, such as the show's decision to include a same-sex couple, the two mothers of Penny the polar bear.
One mummy is a doctor, and one mummy cooks spaghetti.
Thankfully, this only faced backlash from a vocal minority, and most viewers celebrated this inclusivity. Hilariously though, probably the biggest controversy Peppa Pig generated is with American viewers. Apparently their children had begun using British phrases and started to develop British accents, leading some to panic and even stop their children from watching.
What a great day to be a father!
Number 7, Horrible Histories.
Tea is not from Britain, ma'am, from India it was brought.
This show was hugely popular and critically acclaimed, providing historical education for thousands of children. It's known for its dark humor and focus on the unpleasant aspects of history like disease, executions, and torture. Children loved this style, but some adults surprisingly believed it was too graphic or inappropriate.
Cottons from America and picked by
slaves again.
One of their biggest controversies was using spray tan to play Egyptians, which some said was close to blackface. Another scandal was their song British Things, which highlights the negative aspects of colonialism, which some believe to be anti-British. Others praised it for the honest approach.
In Britain, they simply cover people up with great mounds of earth.
You know, we should just go there.
Yeah, weather's not so hot, mind.
Number 6, Hedz.
How's the cake?
It's ruined me here, this.
It's okay. Oh, tastes good. Chocolate.
Political satire is a popular TV genre in the UK, so much so that CBBC tried to get children into it. The result was Hedz, a surreal comedy show parodying celebrities of the era. The thing is, most children don't have any idea who a lot of them are. Not only this, but some parodies, like the one of Jackie Chan, are straight up offensive. There are also many inappropriate jokes about Beyoncé's bottom.
But if I shake my booty, you're sure to fly.
Needless to say, a lot of parents weren't having it. Number 5, Dick and Dom in the Bungalow.
Could I just say that I'm a vet, so strictly speaking, I shouldn't actually be there.
This show was wildly popular among the youth for its unconventional, chaotic, and gross sense of humor. Its most famous segment was the Bogies game, where presenters would go into public places, like a library, and then take turns screaming "Bogies" louder and louder.
Bogies.
Clever response from McCourt.
Kids loved this game, but adults hated it for obvious reasons. There was also backlash from a sketch where presenter Dick McCourt pretended to give birth while buckets of creamy muck-muck were hurled at him. Make Dick Sick was another contentious segment where viewers had to ring up and tell a gross story. If sufficiently gross, Dick would vomit and they'd win the challenge. It was also filled with sexual innuendo, causing it to be cancelled.
Bogies!
That was a brave bogey. It's a 4.2, and the crowd getting to their feet delighted with the audacity.
Number 4, Blue Peter.
Here we go. When I press this button, we will reveal the 8th Blue Peter kitten. Here we go. The suspense. Which is it going to be? It's not Mabel, who's going through shop. It is Sauce!
Who knew a cat could cause so much bother? In 2007, Blue Peter viewers were asked by the presenters to vote in an online poll for the name of the next Blue Peter cat. The top 2 options were Socks and Cookie. Socks was the frontrunner until there was a last-minute surge in votes for Cookie. Bosses suspected someone may have rigged the poll, so they went with Socks.
until very late in the day, Socks was ahead, and then there was a late search for Cookie, and the technical people thought maybe someone was trying to rig the vote.
However, this caused a massive scandal, with Blue Peter accused of violating the trust of its young viewers, not helped by another voting and competition scandal earlier that same year. Someone got sacked, presenters publicly apologized, and a new kitten was brought on and given the correct name.
And the new set isn't the only new thing around here. Check out this little fella. This is our brand new kitten, Cookie. He's only 13 weeks old.
Number 3, Bob the Builder.
I've told Mrs. Broadbent that I'd decorate the new flat I built for her.
You? But, Bob, you're a builder, not a decorator.
Old Bobby has caused a stir multiple times over the years. While his building antics have been beloved across the nation for many, many years, the clean family fun structure he'd put together nearly fell apart back in 2001 with this little segment. Here, Bob struggles to put up some wallpaper and can supposedly be heard swearing. Bob also saw more controversy in 2014 with the show's revival, not for anything that was said, but rather because viewers absolutely hated the new CGI designs they went with.
Oh no!
Clearly, people much preferred the classic stop-motion style that made the show famous. Number 2, Fireman Sam. Fireman Sam has been considered a British children's TV staple for decades, but it wasn't until 2014 that the show found itself in hot water.
Just one more report to go.
This particular scene saw one of the crew tripping over a stack of papers. One of those papers happened to be a page from the Quran.
Careful, Elvis. Don't worry, Sam. I won't slip.
This sparked outrage from members of the British Muslim community, and Mattel was forced to apologize for their mistake. The page was supposed to have unreadable text, but this was apparently chosen instead. Mattel stated they didn't think the decision was made for nefarious reasons, but they concluded that they would, quote, no longer be working with the animation studio responsible.
I think I'd better get a new box.
And I'll get a mop.
Number 1, Teletubbies.
Tinky Winky, Hinky Winky, Dipsy, La La,
Yes, despite being one of the most wholesome shows that the country has ever produced, there have been some spots of bother that caused headaches for the showrunners at Ragdoll Productions. That's all par for the course when your show gets so big, people just find bizarre things to get caught up on. Take, for example, the gay panic surrounding Tinky Winky. Apparently, some of the more bigoted parent viewers in America were aghast at the purple Teletubbies' supposedly less heterosexual traits, such as carrying a handbag. Ridiculous, we know, but it was enough to convince some that he was going to brainwash their children into being gay. Then of course there's the infamous again catchphrase scandal, where some of the plush toys soundboxes were so muffled that when pressed, the phrase would sound like, "I've got a gun." Which children's show do you think is the best ever? Let us know in those comments below.